Now, let's talk more about the equities market as the month of April gradually winds up. We just have just about some few hours before the equities market closes the month of April. Now, let's bring in Peter Abe, equities trader at IBTC Stockbrokers, to join us. Thank you for joining us, Peter.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me correct myself. That was Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers. So now, Peter, it's the last trading day of April, and so far it has not been too good for many investors, depending on what side of the divide you belong. If you're a profit taker, or maybe you're just someone who has been there and not taking profit. So now, can you give us a bit of a review of the month of April, where we see so much of happenings from the reactions to Q1 results, as well as some other factors that played into the market this month?
All right. Like you said, we had a lot that happened in the month of April. April was the month that we saw most of the reactions to the recapitalization news for the banks, and that saw most of the banks depressed. We saw weaknesses, sell-off in the banks, and also more quarter one numbers were released into the markets, which if you look at especially the consumer names and some industrial, we saw some weakness, especially as a result of the FX losses. So we saw a sell-off in some of these sectors as well. But I mean, if you look at the banks, we started seeing the 2023 financial year numbers for banks, and also few Q1 numbers, which look positive. So overall, was quite negative in the market. Like you mentioned, month to date lost more than 6% already for the month, especially in the banks. And banks had already lost 25% month to date. So that shows the negative sentiment for the banks on the back of the recapitalization news, and also FX losses for other consumer names.
Okay, so now that takes me to the latest earnings results. We've had some Q1 earnings. Yes, we're in the second quarter, but some earnings results are still coming in for the first quarter. And the latest so far has been telecoms giant MTN Nigeria, which, if I'm correct, that should be the second most capitalized equity on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, it is reporting a drop in its pre-tax profit, a loss of about 575.69 billion naira loss in its operating profits for the first month of this first 6 months of this year, and it's also attributing this to the loss in FX rate and the naira devaluation. So, can you tell us more about this MTN's earnings in the first quarter of this year?
Well, that shouldn't be surprising, especially when we look at most of the consumer names. There have been challenges with the FX losses, devaluation, and stuff like that. So MTN is just one of them. And for the first quarter, the first 3 months of this year, like you mentioned, the loss recorded is over 575 billion on the back of the debt, as well as their contracts that they have. So I think the real question going forward is the company has put forward so many strategic plans that they want to execute just to ensure that these losses are taken out. We hope that the devaluation, we started seeing naira strengthening against dollar, so that will also help on one side, and possibly other strategic plans they are putting in place. And I also, I mean, the conversation telco have been having that they want to increase their tariff. I think if this also comes upstream, though it may be negative for consumer, but it will help. So let's watch that space. Overall, I think there are plans in place for them to return to profitability in the next 6 months, 3 months, so to say, by the time we get to half year.
Okay, Peter, I can't wait for that to become a reality, because, of course, MTN Nigeria, where with so many investors there, they really want to see profits, not losses, so that they can pay very good dividend. But thank you for your analysis on our show. That was Peter Abe, equity trader at Stanbic IBTC Stockbrokers, with details of the equities market.